welcome back to another video, and today's video is an adventure talking about my very first Supernatural convention. For those of you who know me on the app line, you guys will know that the last couple weeks have been an absolute shitstorm. I have been so completely deflated, just down and depressed. It was not a good thing. So I really needed something to rebuild all that positive energy and just bring me back to a very calm and happy, feeling like myself place. And this convention absolutely did that for me. And I cannot thank everybody enough, from all the people that were at the convention, to my newfound friends that I met there, and all the actors and actresses. I just cannot thank you guys enough for everything that you guys did. Just being yourselves and just being so accepting and wonderful. And I cannot thank you enough, because that was really what I needed to really just feel better and just be back to where I really should be. So I thank you guys enough, and I cannot stress this point, I really can't stress it enough, that you guys should go to one of these conventions if you ever have the opportunity. It is worth every single penny that you're going to put into it. So before we get into what happened at the convention, let's just talk a little bit about how we ended up going in the first place. So as you guys know, every year I like to try to go to as many conventions as I physically can. Unfortunately, now that I'm working, I'm limited to maybe 1 or 2 a year. I just got back from my trip to Washington, D.C., and I discovered that I still had a bunch of vacation time left over. And I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to do with all this time? I don't have the money for another really far away trip. So what am I going to do? Am I just going to take a week off and just, spend time at home and relax? Or am I going to try to go somewhere local? At the same time, the season 12 finale of Supernatural was airing on television, and they were spamming the crap out of the fact that there was going to be a convention at the Meadowlands Expo Center in New Jersey. For those of you who know where I live, you guys know that's not very far away from me. And I'm like, holy crap. The boys are gonna be here. Jensen, Jared, Misha, Mark Shepard, a lot of the other cast, they're all gonna be freaking here in New Jersey. Like, how many times can you say you met these amazing actors? How many times? Not that many, I'm sure. And I'm like, I can't miss this. I cannot miss this opportunity. I have no idea how many times they're going to be here. I didn't know this was going to be a yearly thing. I just, I don't know. I have to meet them. So right then and there, I decided to go on my computer and get my ticket, get my hotel room, and I'm like, I'm going to this thing. So that's how we ended up deciding to actually attend my very first convention of the supernatural kind. So now let's go into some of the other aspects that surrounded this trip. This convention was full of firsts for me, personally. This was the very first time I was actually driving myself to a convention. I've been to conventions by myself before, but I have always been driven to them. This time, I was actually doing the driving. So I had to drive myself to this convention. In addition to driving myself, I was also going to be faced with having to get autographs from a bunch of people. It was included with the package that I paid for, and I'm like, oh my god, I have hard enough time approaching one person. This was like 8 different people that I had to approach to get autographs from, and I'm like freaking out because you guys know I have this really bad anxiety about voice actors and people I consider to be really famous. And I was just like, I can't do it. I just can't, and I'm freaking out, and I'm like, oh my god. Fight or flight, I flee every time. So I'm like, this is gonna be a first for me. I'm gonna be faced with this, and I have no choice, I have to go. And then I pushed it even a step further. Not only was I getting autographs, but I was also getting a photograph with my favorite actor from the show, Misha Collins. So I'm pushing myself further and further. I'm just really pushing that comfort line, trying to get over this stuff that has been kind of a hindrance at conventions forever. So I'm like, alright, let's just keep pushing the lines. Keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And that's what we did. So those are some of the firsts that happened. I have to say, the trip over there was not bad in general, but you know what? This is coming from somebody who has lived in the New York, New Jersey area for a long time, and I can say this. New Jersey do me a favor and fix your damn roads. You guys don't know how to put signs up. You guys, your roads are so confusing. It's horrible. Every time I have to go to New Jersey, like, I dread it because it's just so annoying trying to figure out where the heck you're going. Their signs are confusing. It just, that's why they were late to the convention in 1776, because they got lost in their own state. I mean, it is so, oh my god, it's bizarre. It's just all over the place. But eventually I did get to the convention center. And I stayed at the Embassy Suites this year. Oh my god, a beautiful, beautiful hotel. If you guys ever have a chance to go to one of those, you know, take it. Take it at least once. I mean, it's a beautiful place. I mean, it's nice and open. You know, every hotel room is a suite, so it's nice and spacious, and it's just gorgeous. I love it. The only side note is they don't do breakfast up in your hotel room. You have to go downstairs. Not a big deal, but, you know, I kind of get spoiled at other hotels where they do have in-room breakfast and all that. But that's the only downside to it, at least this particular one. But other than that, I absolutely love the place. It was, you know, fantastic. So, Thursday was pretty uneventful. Got there, got the hotel room, got my pre-registration done. And I'm in my hotel room and I'm like, breathe. Just breathe. That was like my mantra all weekend. Just breathe, because, you know, you're not getting away from these guys. They're going to be here all weekend and you just gotta get over it and face them. And every day had their memorable moments, and I just absolutely loved every single moment of it. Truly, I really did. So, Monday, we had karaoke. Now, I've been to conventions since 2007, and I've never really gone to the big events at the end of every night. I went to masquerades, you know, in the very beginning, and then I stopped going because they lost their appeal for me, and I just stopped going. But at this convention, I'm experiencing everything. I don't care how long it is, I am experiencing everything, and I am so glad that I did. Friday night was karaoke. And I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be sucky, it's gonna be awful. And I was so wrong about that. That was probably one of the most hysterical things I've ever seen in my life. So at this convention, I just want to also preface that you have assigned seats. When you get gold, silver, copper status, you have an assigned seat to you that is yours for the entire convention. And no one can take that from you. So I just want to preface that. So we ended up getting to our seats, which were still there because they had to clear out some space for, you know, the first couple of rows. And we were sitting there, and I'm watching it, and I'm kind of just there, just soaking it in, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is alright. And then, like, all of a sudden, like, a switch was pulled, and I really just felt like I could let loose, and I can really just be goofy and just have a great time, and which doesn't happen. I don't dance, I don't sing in public, you know, I don't do any of that kind of stuff. I just don't. It's just not my thing. I just don't do it. I don't feel comfortable doing it. I'm very self-conscious, and I was like, I can't do this. But at this event, I just didn't care. And the great thing about the Supernatural family is they don't judge you. They all are goofy together, and we're just all supportive of each other. And it's fantastic, and I was just like, alright, I'm letting loose. So here I am, I'm standing up in my seat, and I'm watching this, and I'm getting into it, I'm dancing around, I'm singing the songs that I know, and then the most hilarious thing happens. So, Emily, who plays the darkness in the show, she comes on, and she's doing the song Wrecking Ball. I believe that's the name of the song. So, Matt Cohen was on the stage with the rest of the cast, and he was dressed as a rabbit coming out of a hat, so try to picture that for a minute. And Emily was this tiger. Well, anyway. So, he decided to really commit to something during this, which I thought was just hilarious and perfect. every time the part where it said I came in like a wrecking ball, he actually became a wrecking ball and just ran across the stage, like back and forth every time. It was like the commitment that he had to this. It was hysterical just watching him do that, like the whole time. And we were dying. I could not sing the song after that. I was just, every time he did it, I was just like, I was just on the floor. I was like, oh my god, that was great. That was the greatest thing. And for those who know the show, it even has a bigger kind of impact. You guys can make that reference of the darkness controlling her nephew, you know, making him do this crazy stuff. And I'm like, I was on the floor. I was done. I was so overjoyed with just emotion. It was great. So Friday night was spectacular. That was also the first day where I got autographs, and I did not freak out about it. You know, just did it. We just, row by row, we all got called up to do our autographs, and I was cool with it. I was absolutely cool with it. I did not, like, freak out and all that. It was pretty natural, so I was like, that's good. That's good. The real test came on Saturday. Now, on Saturday, we still had autographs. We still had, you know, all the other big events, you know, but I also had my photo op on Saturday. And I'm like, oh my god. So I got over the autograph thing, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to be within, like, inches of this really famous, awesome, gorgeous actor. Like, you know, seriously, like, that close. And I'm like, oh my god, I don't know if I can do this. And I'm like stressing out the entire time, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm just like a deer in the headlights. I'm totally lost. But that's later. But let's get into the other things first. So another funny thing that happened, I'll post a picture probably here. Matt Cohen had his panel, his Q&A. And during that, the stand-in Master of Ceremonies, Jason Mans, was on stage also, and he was celebrating his birthday. And Matt thought it'd be cool if they had done this piñata thing. So they brought out a cupcake piñata, and Matt decided that he was going to hold it. So they did this crazy thing. He got on a chair, because, you know, to make, you know, taller. So he's standing on a chair, and they're like, well, how does this work? Do we blindfold the person holding the piñata, or we do it to the person who's actually swinging at it? They decided to do it to him. So here he is, standing on a chair with a blindfold and holding out a piñata. And Emily and Jason decided to be funny to just walk off stage. So they're off backstage. He's standing there with the piñata, blindfolded, not knowing what the heck is going on, and it was just so funny. Just like, you know, hearing him, he's like, are you guys swinging, or, you know, it was the funniest thing ever. And then they came back later, and they're like, oh. And then they did it, and yeah, that was great. So,
especially because he's wearing a headband. It looks nice though.
He lines it up for the swing. He checks first base. He senses somebody's going to steal first or second. And the pitch. Seems here the batter is trying to ice the pitcher, is what we're seeing. The pitcher regains his confidence. The batter's standing in the pocket. And we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Mans, happy birthday, buddy!
So that was a good moment. I don't know if that was during, was that during? No, that was another day. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. I forgot what happened what day. There's just so much stuff that happened. So then comes the big moment. We're gonna do the photo op. And I'm waiting there for the numbers to be called, because they go by groups of numbers. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh my god, the number gets called, and I go to line up, and I am standing in that line. My legs are like jelly. I am like little shaky. And I'm like, oh my god. And they're going at a pretty quick pace. I mean, this is just like boom, picture, boom, picture, boom, picture. And I get there, and I'm standing not even a foot away from Misha Collins, and I'm looking at him, I'm like, oh my god, he's freaking gorgeous, he's taller in person. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, just like, whew, like breathe. And then, you know, it's my turn, and I get there, and I don't even know what to do. I'm just like, alright, we're just gonna go for a hug shot. So I go and I hug him, and I take the picture, and I'm about to walk away. Apparently, the shot was bad, so Misha leans over, grabs my arm, and drags me back. And I'm like, oh my god! And we take another photo, which I absolutely love. I'll show that in another video. And those of you who know me on Facebook and everywhere else, you've practically already seen it. But for those of you who haven't seen it, I'm going to show you guys that in my other video. But I was like, oh my god, he just grabbed me and dragged me back. I was just like, oh my god. I was freaking out. That was a great moment for me. It was just that. I mean, it wasn't anything that big, but for me, that was like a big deal. So that happened. You know, and then again, we had more autographs. Saturday autographs were kind of all over the place, but you know what? It was great. You know, and throughout the convention, I was talking to more people. So I was just like, you know, kind of breaking the ice, kind of just talking to people, and, you know, slowly became friends over the course of the convention. And that night, we had the concert. Again, this is something I generally don't do. I don't go to concerts. I've never been to any concert. Even when I first went to anime conventions, I never went to a concert. I just couldn't stay up that late. I was always so tired. But I was like, I have to go and see the concert. So I go, and again, we're standing online probably for an hour and a half prior to doors being open to let us all in, which I think was kind of stupid, because if you were a gold member, you had a seat the entire time, so I don't know why they just didn't let gold and silver in, because they had assigned seats. But anyway, regardless, we were outside, we were talking with, you know, everybody else, and, you know, just this camaraderie thing, which, you know, I appreciate it. Again, meeting more people, totally awesome. And then we get in, and, you know, I'm having a good time. I'm actually, you know, enjoying what's being played, and it was a really great thing. And then toward the end, Jensen shows up. So Jensen, oh my god, he is gorgeous in so many ways. He's just unbelievably handsome, and he has an amazing singing voice. If I can, I'm gonna put a clip of that in there also. But he has an amazing voice. Oh my god. So I really enjoyed listening to that. It was great to hear it in person. I've heard him sing, you know, on YouTube videos before, but in person, it's just like, oh my god, that's so beautiful. So that happened. So that was Saturday. Again, just an amazing experience overall. Sunday was kind of our slow day. You know, there was not much going on. There was a lot of photo ops happening. And then there was like back-to-back Q&A sessions. And, you know, again, funny stuff happens. Funny stuff happens. I don't know if it was Saturday or Sunday. I forgot what day it was. But there was one day where Misha did. It was probably Saturday. And Misha is hysterical. He truly is. I should have filmed it. He was so off the walls, absolutely crazy that day. And the innuendos, oh my god, they just kept on coming, and I was like, I love this about him, that he just does this at conventions. He just lets loose, and he does all these he says all these crazy things, and it's absolutely hysterical. It's not offensive at all. It's just amazing, and I'm just dying. We're all just cracking up in our seats, you know, listening to all these things that he's saying. And that kept on going throughout the convention. You know, Jensen and Jared, you know, they're the pranksters of Supernatural, like, they really are. And I heard other stories about that. They came on, they did their panel. At one point, Jeffrey Morgan, who plays John Winchester, and Negan from The Walking Dead, comes and he walks across the stage right in front of the boys, after, I think it was after his panel or some point, I forgot when exactly he did it. He walks across the stage to go sign one of the banners, and the boys, they turn and they look, and they're like, is that a drive-by dad? Because he just walked past, he didn't even recognize, he didn't even acknowledge them or anything. He just walked right past them and went to the banner, and they're like, they're a great trio. And then, you know, Jeffrey Morgan, he's hysterical, because, he said something, I don't forgot what he said, but it became a running joke, like, every other sentence, oh, AMC! Because, you know, I forgot what he said, but he said something, and he was like, oh, AMC's the best, AMC. And that was just a running thing through most of the panel. And he continued to do that, and then, again, we had to give congratulations to him. He kind of let it slip, and I mean, it's cute, and it's just like, oh, man. He's like, ah, darn it. He let it slip that, yeah, he's expecting a new child. And then he let it slip what the gender of the kid was. He said a couple of things, and then he's like, oh shit. And he drops the mic, and he's like, oh, I just did that. Like, he didn't mean to tell anybody what it was gonna be, and he's like, ah, shit. So that was great. And then he was whisked off stage because he was running late for a flight and all that. But absolutely hysterical, great things. And then finally, toward the end, was probably one of the most memorable things I've ever had at a convention. Oh, back up. We need to back up. Okay, so, I forgot to mention this. Rob and Richard couldn't make the convention. Richard was out directing an episode of Supernatural. Rob was doing an independent film. So I ended up getting vouchers to, you know, put toward anything else at the convention, and I was holding on to one of the vouchers for a while. I mean, I was gonna send it in and just get, you know, a refund, but I'm like, you know what? This is a convention where I just want to go all out. I want to do as much as I physically can, and I'm standing there at the photo op table looking at all the available photo ops, and I'm going back and forth. I'm like, yes, I see. Again, I see one that has Jared, Jensen, and Misha, and then me. And I'm like, I'm going back and forth. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And I'm like, oh, hell with it. Yes, I'm gonna do it. What the heck? So I ended up getting that. And again, I am freaking out, because one was, you know, a lot. But having all three of them at the same time, I was like, oh my god, what the heck am I doing to myself? What am I doing to myself? Because, you know, again, these guys are gorgeous, and they're, you know, amazing people, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm gonna be in a photo with these guys. Like, I'm gonna be within inches of these guys, and I'm like, holy crap. And, again, photos didn't like me this weekend. So I got to hug them twice, because apparently somebody blinked. It was probably me. I don't know who blinked, but somebody blinked, and they brought me around. And we did it again, and oh my god, these pictures are so pretty. The more and more I look at them, the more I like them. I don't know if you guys know this, but I have a lot of issues, self-esteem issues, body image issues, and the more I look at them, the more I like it, and that's just really great. Another positive thing that came out of this convention is just a lot of positivity all around. Okay, sorry, going back to what I was saying. So, Sunday night, we ended up doing our final autographs, and my friends that I met at the convention, Amy, Courtney, and I, were on the line, and we are just cracking jokes the entire way, because the lines were going pretty slow, because Jensen and Jared, they wanted to really connect with their fans, which is great. I love that they did that. And we're just standing in line, and we're just cracking jokes about random things, and there was sexual innuendos, and there was just everything going on, and we were just dying laughing the entire time. I have never laughed so hard and as much as I did in that 2 hours. I don't know how long we were there, but maybe a 2 hour span. I was just dying, and I don't know if Jensen, Jared, or anybody even heard us, as, you know, because they were right across the other side of the curtain. I don't know if they heard us, but we were like Jensen, Jared, and Misha in female forms, just dying laughing, just not being serious at all. It was great. It was so freaking wonderful. And again, I am so grateful to those two for making this weekend so unbelievably amazing. Like, so unbelievably amazing. So, yeah. And then it ended. And then I was sad again because I'm like, oh no, it's over. But it was an amazing weekend, and I'm so grateful to everybody because you guys really just brought back all that positive energy I really needed, because I was just so drained leading up to it. I needed something like this, and it was the best experience I have had. Best experience. And I love that it was at the Expo Center, because that's where everything began for me. That's where it started with my very first anime convention, and it's my very first supernatural convention. So this place really does bring out all the best moments of my life and really just brings about awesome stuff. So I'm truly grateful for that, and it was amazing. And again, I cannot stress enough, if you guys have the opportunity to go to one of these conventions, you really should. You will not regret it, especially if you are a fan of Supernatural. You will definitely feel that love and acceptance and everything that the Supernatural family truly represents. And that's just great. Good stuff. Just amazing, good, positive influence on the world. So, that is everything. That was my whole entire experience at the Supernatural convention. You know, what would you guys like to see? What would you guys like to experience? I would like to, you know, kind of know. So I could probably do that too, and kind of, you know, really get into it. I will be going back next year. I have made that decision. I'm definitely going back because I do want to experience everything again, this time with Rich and Rob. Hopefully they'll be able to make it next year, because it was a whole new dynamic, and so that's just gonna be a whole new situation. So I would love to experience that, and love to experience their take on the convention, and just experience more love and all that stuff, and continue to push those boundaries of my comfort zone, and really just help me grow as a person, and kind of get out of this really just closed off person that I am. So yeah, that is everything. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I rambled on for a long time, but I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about my experience, and I will see you guys pretty soon with my haul of my Supernatural convention experience. So, see you guys next time. Bye!